Show me that don't need no money, don't need nobody, just need your body. Show me that soul sweet like honey, don't need no talking, just need your body. Your loving on me makes me feel special. No heaven on earth if I can't be with you. Swim in your eyes so I can tell the truth. I got so high, oh, I can't leave.
Hey guys, welcome to another Gabby's TED Talk, except today is going to be a longer version, mainly about reorienting ourselves. Now, this stems from what my church is teaching me right now, and it's talking about reorienting ourselves towards the mission of Christ, what we believe in, but I believe that there is a deeper connection between believers and non-believers in this reorientation season. So whether or not you're Christian, Muslim, Hindu, atheist, agnostic, there are so many different principles that can be applied from what I've been learning, and I want to share my knowledge with you. So, and first things first, how do we reorient ourselves? What do we reorient ourselves to? And what exactly is reorientation? So, reorientation. We think of this as a drastic change in our lives, where we discard our old selves and bring ourselves in a new version of ourselves. However, this isn't exactly the case. Well, there is some discardment of past habits, past relationships, moods, emotions, just past fragments of ourselves. There's also still that inner core being of yourself, your inner spirit. And what reorientation says is that you're taking yourself from being surrounded towards this one thing, whether it is materialism. A lot of people, including myself, do struggle with materialism. Are you constantly chasing wealth, the new cutest clothing, new drop on the line, new Starbucks order, new this, new that, new car? Love cars, by the way, no shade. There's always that new void that you're trying to fill. So when we reorient ourselves, we want to reorient ourselves towards a more divine purpose, not something centered in other people, not something centered in other people's worth, other people's values, other people's opinions, other people's beliefs, other materialism, so many other things, but rather we want to focus on ourselves. How is our spiritual health? Whether you're religious or not, are you at peace with yourself? Are you at peace with your mind, your body, your spirit? We are a holistic being. We are not meant to live in isolation, and we are not meant to fill the void of our heart with things that don't matter. We are not meant to fill the void of our heart with a lack of fulfillment. Partying, drugs, sex, alcohol may be good, but it will never fulfill a void in your heart. And I'm here to tell you that if you want to reorient yourself to have a more fulfilling life, to have a more fruitful life, more productive and fruitful relationships, more fruitful just overall self-worth, self-fulfillment, if you want to feel like the best version of yourself, the glow up hot girl summer, the whatever you name it, you have to start with yourself. And this is where my first step comes in, is to reorient yourself to a greater purpose and more self-fulfillment. You have to analyze yourself. So, and for me, when I hit rock bottom a couple years ago, I didn't really understand who I was. Yeah, I mean, on paper, not to brag or anything, but I was doing pretty well, right? I was doing well in school. I had great friends, great, just overall fulfilling family relationship, friend relationship. I was going out, I was having fun, and I was just on top of everything, professionally, spiritually, or whatever, you know, like on the outside, I was involved in my church. It was great, but deep down inside, there was a void. There was such a deep void because I didn't even know myself. I didn't love myself. There was no confidence whatsoever. And I busied myself with so many external activities, tennis, extracurriculars, clubs, vice president, president, co-founder, website builder, you name it. And there were so many things I filled myself up with to the point where I didn't even know myself. But it was at that lowest point that I began to pray. So whether or not you are religious, I want you, in order to analyze yourself, sit in silence, meditate, pray for understanding, for knowledge, for wisdom, and most especially, peace and quiet. Our world is filled with so much buzz of, you need to chase this, you need to chase that, you need to do good in this, or else you're gonna go nowhere in life, or you need to be the co-founder, founder, president, vice president, treasurer of this, be involved in this, or else you're gonna go nowhere in life. And that is simply not the case. We were never made to be running around in circles, chasing the new fad, chasing the new trend, chasing this new materialistic wealth, chasing the new car, chasing the new person. We were never made for that. So in the first step of analyzing yourself, I want you to sit and wrestle with your emotions. Because so much of our life is spent not dealing with our emotions. So much of our life is spent in avoidance rather than actual action. So in this piece, I want you to seek wisdom and understanding. And once you're done sitting in silence, go ahead and seek the other wisdom and knowledge you need, the other perspectives of where you're sitting. So if you have a good friend, or if you have someone you can trust in and abide in, I would go to them and have them ask you, like, how am I as a person? What are my quote-unquote red flags? What are some struggles you notice that I deal with? And having those different perspectives add an extra analysis. Now, take this with a grain of salt because no one's opinion should define how you view yourself, or no one's opinion should be the sole core purpose driven behind you. So take your friends' opinions with a grain of salt, but go to a trusted friend. And most of all, I definitely recommend therapy. There is a huge stigma around therapy, especially for males out there. And I believe that stigma really needs to be broken down, because when I started therapy, it was the best experience of my life. There's just so many undealt traumas, so much undealt emotions that people just don't consider. And I think it's so important to actually go and delve through that, so then you can work out each individual problem and recognize any trigger factors and how to consequentially deal with them. Helps you understand yourself as a person. So in this season of, whether it be therapy, going to your friends, meditation, prayer, at the end of this, or even during this, there are 2, 3-ish questions I want you to really be focusing on. Because this will give you the answer to whether or not you should reorient in your life, to whether or not you are analyzing yourself correctly, to whether or not you understand yourself. So the first one is, what are you basing your purpose on? I'm gonna let that sink in a little bit. What are you basing your purpose on? What are you working towards in life? What is your purpose in life? And wrestle with that. Because a lot of people in this world go about day by day and have no idea what their purpose is. You could be mindlessly working a job, mindlessly going to school, mindlessly going about your day, mindlessly sleeping in till 12, 1, 2, doom scrolling on your phone with no purpose. What is life if you aren't living with a purpose? We weren't placed here to die. We were placed here for something greater. And if you believe that we were placed here just to die, I am sorry for the miserable life you are going to live. I want that to sink in. We are not made to live in misery. So whether or not you truly believe you have a purpose, start gaslighting yourself. Because you are made with a purpose. You were made to do great things. And if you don't believe that, this is where you need to reorient your life towards, is a purpose. And the second question I want you to really ask yourself, are you mentally, physically, and spiritually well? This pertains towards more of the analysis part of your life and analyzing yourself. Are you mentally, physically, and spiritually well? I'm going to go back to when I hit rock bottom, right? Physically, I was well. Fit, good grades, good friends, on paper, had it all. Mentally at my lowest, spiritually most disconnected from God. And in that moment, I was not fulfilled. I needed to reorient myself. And in the same way with you, are you mentally, physically, spiritually well? Think of yourself as a temple shaped as a triangle, right? You have, in no particular order, mental, spiritual, physical health. If just one corner of the temple is unstable, the triangle collapses. You are not meant to be the broken triangle. You are meant to be a strong triangle. Because at the end of the day, a triangle is the strongest shape out of all the geometric shapes or basic geometric shapes. But the only thing that can undermine a triangle is one of its bases being weak. So if you want to be a strong triangle, you want to be a strong person, and you want to start succeeding and achieving all your goals in life and being the best version of yourself, you have to start from within. And from there, once you address your mental, physical, and spiritual health, you can start addressing those more in depth. And I want to address that more in my next video. So hang tight. But yeah, that is basically it for today. I just hope that as you start your reorientation process, that you begin to analyze yourself in such a deep, loving, caring way that you get to see the 3 pillars of your life: mental, physical, and spiritual health. And from there, you can go on and achieve all the things you want. You can go ahead and achieve and put yourself out there when you are secure in yourself. You can go ahead and achieve your goals, achieve your dreams, if you reorient your life towards a much greater purpose, a purpose centered in betterment, self-fulfillment. And in that self-fulfillment, there comes fulfillment of others. Because once your cup is overflowing, you can pour that into anyone else. So not only are you bettering yourself, you're bettering the community around you, the world around you. And that, my friends, is love. So love yourself, love others, and have fun reorienting yourselves. Thanks for attending my TED Talk.